I'm Debra Kirschner, today's host, and I would like to welcome you to another episode of Let's Talk Film, a series where contemporary women get a chance to have their voices heard on all types of film releases. We will be reviewing the indie film Girl Most Likely, written by Michelle Morgan and directed by Sherry Springer Berman and Robert Pulcini. It stars Kristen Wiig, Annette Bening, and Nat Dillon. We are shooting here at the new location of Wix Lounge, the free Manhattan work and event space for creative professionals. It is now located here in the heart of Chelsea on West 23rd between 7th and 8th Avenues. In this neighborhood, bustling local businesses and historic residencies harmoniously coexist. And the Wix Lounge is positioning itself as an innovative addition to this vibrant area. Let's find out a little more about this creative hotspot. I am here with Ashley, who is the Client Relations and Events Manager at Wix.com. Congratulations on this new location for Wix Lounge. How long have you guys been here?
We've only been here for about a month, but we're absolutely thrilled to be in a new location. It's larger, it's more beautiful, and we can fit more coworkers and we can do more amazing events. So we're very happy to be here.
And what kind of things do you do here at Wix Lounge?
So during the day, we have totally free co-working, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., free Wi-Fi, free coffee, and then at night, we let really great organizations and groups have events here for free in exchange for promoting Wix, which is the incredible company that funds and promotes the whole space and gives it to the community.
Wow, that's amazing. And what kind of events have you had here?
If you can dream it, we've probably had it here. We've had everything from fundraisers to art exhibition openings, dance performances, music performances, panel discussions, food festivals. If you can dream it, we've probably had it.
Great. And what other kinds of stuff do you do at Wix.com?
We also offer free one-on-one support for Wix users. So I guess I should probably tell you a little bit more about Wix itself. So Wix is a platform that gives you an incredibly easy way to build a website without having to write a single line of code. And if you come to the Wix Lounge, you can actually get free one-on-one support for your Wix website. So you have a Wix website.
I have two Wix websites. I have my own, DebraKirschner.com, and then my production company, we have a Wix website, brickhouse.com. So yes.
Yeah, so if you ever needed help or if you wanted to get tips on the latest apps that we offer in our app marketplace, you can actually schedule an appointment and meet with an actual human being.
That never happens. Yeah. That's great. That's great.
And we also do a lot to feature and promote Wix users in the space. We have monthly exhibitions that feature artists with Wix websites. We hire only Wix users as our vendors for events. So when we hire a caterer, or we hire a drinks vendor, always a Wix user.
That's cool.
We also promote them in our social media and our newsletters here. We ask them to be speakers on some of the panels. So we try to promote and support the Wix community here as much as possible using this space.
Oh, that is cool. That's really cool. Anything else you want to tell us about Wix Lounge or Wix.com?
Wix just provides this incredible resource for artists and creatives, and beyond that, if you're in the New York area, having the lounge as a resource, not only having a great way to build a website, but having this built-in community here.
It's true, and it's like I'm often finding myself like where I have like 3 hours in between appointments, and I didn't know about this place until today. So like I could actually come here and be productive. So I think that's great. I could come here with my laptop and use that time instead of like hang out texting my friends somewhere waiting for my next thing to start. So
it's very rare. It's something that you can't really find with anything else. So being able to have this online resource and this offline community is one of a kind.
That is great. Thank you so much for having us, letting us do our panel here. And now let's meet our panelists. To my left, we have Patricia Koo.
Hi.
She's born and raised in NYC. She's a freelance artist and photographer, so by New York standards, it means she's also a bartender. She's currently finishing up her BFA in Hunter College with plans to attend grad school at SVA for art therapy. She's also spent the past year assistant art teaching with Studio in the School, a non-for-profit program working to keep art in the public schools. That's awesome. Today we'll be discussing the indie film Girl Most Likely, written by Michelle Morgan and directed by Sherry Springer Berman and Robert Pulcini. This is a film that was written and co-directed by a woman, yet it has been widely panned by the critics, most of whom have been male. Why do you think that quirky films such as this made by men are given the green light and access to succeed, when films like this made by women are destined to be panned with little chance for big success?
I really have no idea. I know that I have a lot of friends in the comedy industry in New York City, and it's always discussed how women just have a tougher time. I guess it's just, I don't know, a stigma. Men are expected to be more funny, they're allowed to be more silly, or something like that. Whereas I guess women maybe just seem ditzy or dumb if they attempt to be funny most of the time. So yeah, it's an ongoing discussion between just even stand-up comedy comics in New York City. So why in this particular case? Maybe it's because all those bigger films that have already kind of set the standard for this sort of like film, like Wedding Crashers and everything like that. Maybe just because they came first, so they kind of like set that higher standard, or what's considered the higher standard. I don't know.
I think that part of it is that this is both funny and serious, and I think a lot of female-driven comedy is that way, is sort of that, and it seems like the expectation is to be like this total rated R, like buffoony funny, or to be a drama, and I think this middle ground is just it's hard for critics to talk about, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or it's hard for marketers maybe even also to talk about, and I think that seems to be the biggest challenge, is like not knowing how to pigeonhole. But I think of Kristen Wiig as a funny actress. It seems like men make that leap easier from funny to like this is now a serious role than women do. Right. This film's original title was Imogene, named after Kristen Wiig's character, but was changed to Girl Most Likely. Why do you feel this was done?
I feel like Girl Most Likely gives it another layer because it's sort of preferencing the story. So she was aspiring to be all these things, and you kind of get that from the title, and then you have, the current action. So I think it works for that. I
agree. I actually think Girl Most Likely is a better title. Whoever changed it, I actually think it points to what I found to be the most interesting conflict of the story, which is the expectations of doing well and trying to live up to those expectations. And I think that it's so loaded because of everyone's yearbook that I actually think it's a great title. Do you think this film pulls off the very difficult feat of being quirky without being goofy?
I feel like it had the potential to, and then never exactly really got there for me. I think it did succeed in doing that with Kristen Wiig. I think that she really shined in a sort of like dramatic comedy role, because I feel like her delivery and her method of comedy really fit in that, because it was awkward and there were these moments that I guess they were trying to create that were a little bit unusual and intense, and I think that fit in really well with that. But I don't know if it successfully got to where they wanted it to. I don't know if it fell short because of the writing. Like, I'm not really sure.
So I guess my answer is both. In the stories I liked the best, I think she achieved that balance, and in the stories I didn't like I felt like the art scene was just goofy and not believable and not fun to watch. And a lot of the times I found myself during the stories I liked less sort of waiting for it to get back to the part that I liked more. So yeah. Did you find Zelda, Annette Bening's character, and Imogene, Kristen Wiig's character, to be believable?
I did, and as you said, if you stripped away everything else, all the other actors and all the other characters, if it had been solely a movie about their relationship, I would have still even thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, Annette Bening is just amazing. In whatever she does, she succeeds in doing it. It doesn't matter which type of character she's playing. She's, I don't know, maybe one of the only actresses amongst, the top 10 that could do that can succeed in doing anything. So as I was saying, when they brought up, the whole New Jersey stereotype and things like that, I thought it was gonna begin to get a little bit offensive, but then she brought such humanity to that role that I think anybody going through issues with their mom, every person on the planet has mommy issues, and I think that she really encompassed that really well and played really well against Kristen Wiig's quirkiness, because then I feel like she took on the same sort of quirkiness at times, and I think that I would have liked to see more scenes of them just together, as a matter of fact, and like you said, with the little brother and that family dynamic. I would have liked to see more time focused on that dynamic.
Yeah, I agree. I think Annette Bening raises the level of everything she's in. I mean, I think she's just such a great actress, and I think she's done that in this movie. I would say, performance-wise, I thought both Kristen Wiig and Annette Bening did a great job. As far as their characters being believable, at times yes, at times no. Like, I didn't completely understand all of the resentment. I didn't completely understand why Annette Bening's character kept that big secret. I kind of got it, but I felt like there was like a lot of the quirk in the way, like with her relationship with Matt Dillon and stuff, of like really understanding and getting to the nitty gritty. So I think sometimes that made things feel a little less believable, because there was like every moment of depth. Like, it wasn't just comic relief, but a lot of times it was like comic distraction for me. So sometimes I didn't think that their characters were believable because I didn't understand their motivations. Okay, who do you believe is the target audience for this film?
I would say that the target audience for this film is anyone in the age range of the Kristen Wiig character and anyone in the age range of the Annette Bening character, because I feel like those sorts of women can relate mostly to the plot of the story.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the target audience is like sort of the indie film lovers. Like, I think it would be like targeted towards like the gang that would love to see Little Miss Sunshine, or movies like that. And I guess like particularly since Kristen Wiig's character is a protagonist, I guess particularly like the 30-something female audience, I guess would be the main target audience of the movie. For me, being a writer, being a filmmaker, I particularly felt like it had something interesting and new to say about art. So I feel like maybe artists could be an audience that would maybe appreciate this movie more than others, because of like this sort of the struggle of living up to your potential, the struggle to create, the potential of creation. Like, I think that's all a really interesting story that, I don't know, might only be interesting to artists. I don't know.
Well, it is an important aspect, because it's probably these days more than half the population of New York City are people that are moving here to try and live the dream.
Right, yeah.
You know, I feel like every other person you meet is a struggling artist in some way, whether it be entertainment or, studio art or whatever.
Dancer, whatever.
So if that aspect, like we were saying earlier, if that aspect of the film was a bit more believable, it would be a bit more relatable to a lot more people.
Yeah, I would agree. If you weren't on this panel, would you have gone to see this film?
I might not have, because I didn't know about it otherwise. Had I been at another movie and saw the preview, I definitely would have seen the movie. I don't know if it's because dysfunctionality speaks to me personally, but if I had seen it, just the pairing of Kristen Wiig and Annette Bening, seeing the trailer for it, I definitely would have gone to see it.
When I saw the trailer, I was like, I'm totally going to see this movie, mainly 90% because of the cast. Like, the plot seemed like it might be interesting, but I was like, I like every actor in this movie. I'm going to go see this movie. A lot of times that's enough to get me to a movie. So yeah, I would have seen it. And now we're going to check in with Mimi and discover her video on demand pick of the week.
Thanks. This is Video on Demand Pick of the Week. I'm Mimi Spilllane. This week's pick is Ginger and Rosa. I'm on the Staten Island waterfront, and you'll find out when you see this movie, and you should, why water plays an important part in it. Writer and director Sally Potter has done a beautiful job crafting the story about teenage girls who have been inseparable since birth. Their mothers were in the same labor room together. It's set in 1962 London. Potter has captured the look and feel of a depressed city still digging out of the rubble from World War II. There are a lot of non-Brit actors in this British movie. In fact, most of the main characters are played by Americans. Ginger is the more central of the two title roles. She's played wonderfully by Elle Fanning. Her mother, Natalie, is played by now famous actress Christina Hendricks of Mad Men fame. Both maintained to my year, and I lived there for 10 years, credible English accents. Australian actress Alice Engler plays Rosa. She's the wilder of the two main characters, the one who smokes, necks with boys, bringing Ginger along on her adventures. Hendricks is the worried mother, but Ginger's father, played by American actor Alessandro Nivola, seems to think it's all fine. Nivola captures the pseudo-intellectual, would-be radical character Roland, who is charming and despicable at the same time. Other Americans in the movie include Oliver Platt as one half of a gay couple who are both godfathers to Ginger, and Annette Bening, who plays a radical poetess. They are crucial to Ginger as she tries to navigate the events around her and play important parts in a very emotional, intense scene toward the end, in which Fanning is terrific. Ginger and Rosa is a well-acted story about teen angst, a desire to get out of the lower-class environment both girls live in, that wish to be grown up all 17-year-olds feel, and a world and a girl on the brink of losing all sanity. The soundtrack includes music of the era and features American jazz artists like Dave Brubeck and Thelonious Monk. Cinematographer Robbie Ryan does a great job at crafting the dark, gloomy feel and look of the time period. It clocks in at 90 minutes, and not a minute is wasted. As I said before, I loved this movie, so on my scale of 4 remotes for video on demand, I'm giving it all 4. This has been Video on Demand, Pick of the Week. I'm Mimi Spilllane. See you soon.
Thanks, Mimi. Well, we've run out of time, but I would like to thank you today for your comments and your thoughts.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It was a pleasure having you here with us today. And again, I'd also like to thank Ashley for allowing us to shoot here at Wix Lounge. Today we're discussing Girl Most Likely, written by Michelle Morgan and directed by Shari Springer Berman and Robert Pulcini. Be sure to check this out and more on our website, www.letstalkfilmdotcom, which is also available on your mobile devices. I'm today's host, Debra Kirschner. Until next time, keep watching and keep talking film.